The manhunt for the man accused of gunning down Nassau County Sheriff's Deputy Joshua Moyers continues in Callahan. Law enforcement officers will be scouring a wooded area 4 times the size of Central Park, looking for Patrick McDowell.
The van stopped right in this area here.
How you doing? How's it going? All right, yep, driver, that's me.
The lights on the railroad crossing there started flashing. Of course, Deputy Moyers glanced, and that gave the killer an opportunity to reach down, grab his gun, come out, and shoot him.
You got any guns in the car? No.
It was just shocking that someone would be so callous, so brutal.
We had 200 to 300 officers looking through wooded area swamps, going door to door.
Yeah, this is the complex where he was found.
Do not move!
Nassau County Sheriff Bill Lieber announcing today the capture of accused cop killer Patrick McDowell.
All right.
Those that would shoot a law enforcement officer, they're evil.
36-year-old Patrick McDowell admitted in court today that he gunned down Nassau County Deputy Joshua Moyers.
I think you wouldn't be human if you didn't have some sort of feelings of anger when you see a law enforcement officer's life taken in such a manner.
People say that. How can you represent those horrible people? How do you sleep at night? I think everybody deserves a defense. And especially when you're dealing with the death penalty, you certainly don't want to make a mistake. He pled guilty, which means that the only decision left is a decision of the jury, what penalty is appropriate. The jury doesn't have to determine guilt, but they do have to hear facts about the case and then facts about his life.
Ooh, welcome to Iraq. What?
He always wanted to be a Marine. His dad was a Marine, and he was good at what he did. And then when he got back from Iraq, just maybe like a little piece of him was gone. He wasn't the same Patrick that I knew. He would have bad nightmares. Really hyper vigilant, like if we sat down somewhere, he'd have to sit facing the door. He was angry all the time.
I think it led to his divorce eventually.
Partly because he was self-medicating for the PTSD. He got into drugs like so many other people do, and then that led to crimes.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
On September 23rd, you didn't want to interact with the police that night.
No, I absolutely did not.
You were high?
I was high. I was afraid. I knew I had warrants. I had a stolen car with stolen guns in it, drugs.
And at the point in time when Deputy Moyers asked you to step out of the vehicle, you knew in your mind at that point in time you were going to jail.
Yes, sir.
Deputy Moyers looked up at the railroad crossing and you swiveled and grabbed that gun.
As I was trying to talk my way out of it, I started to hear a train coming in. As I said, I was willing to do whatever I needed to do to get away. So when he asked me to step out, I turned my body to reach for the seatbelt. I took the gun out and I shot him. And then as he fell, I fired 2 more rounds to make sure that he wouldn't be able to come after me. And then I took off and I just left him there in the street, assuming he was dead.
I don't have any further questions.
If I had to take a bullet for somebody, it would have been him, and I know without a shadow of a doubt, he would have done the same for me. So when I heard about this, that's not the Patrick that I know.
These former Marines all spoke very highly of Patrick McDowell. They said he was the best at his job, a good and nice, genuine person. They also mentioned how coming home, it wasn't easy for them to just accept getting help.
You yourself suffer problems with adjusting to life after the Marines.
Yes, I've suffered through numerous issues with post-traumatic stress and issues that related to my time in the service.
Joshua was taken from our family both violently and quickly. way too soon. Josh was always a servant, both in life and his death. Josh was always giving.
When I held Joshua in my arms for the first time, I then knew my real purpose. I'll never get to share in the excitement of his wedding. I'll never hold his children, my grandchildren.
I feel shame. Guilty that I'm allowed to sit here, surrounded by my remaining family, and complain about all the ways that Josh being murdered has made my life harder and caused me pain, when he doesn't get to experience anything else ever again.
Well, the state rested this afternoon in the penalty phase of the man who killed Nassau County Deputy Joshua Moyers. Jurors heard how McDowell's actions impacted the lives of Deputy Moyers' family.
This was probably one of the most impactful victim impact statements I have heard in covering court cases.
We could feel it, and you could see the jurors felt it as well.
He feels like he deserves the death penalty. He thinks it's all an attempt to make feeble excuses for the wrong that he did.
I don't agree with that. But testifying is the defendant's decision. It's one of those decisions under the law that doesn't belong to the lawyer.
You understand that you don't have to make this statement.
I believe that.
All right. Last chance. Once you do this, you can't unring that bell. You understand that?
Well, I understand.
All right. Mr. McDowell, will you please come forward?
First, I want to say to Deputy Moyers, loved ones, and fellow officers, I'm sorry for what I've taken from you. I wish more than anything I could bring him back, and if my death could have done it, I would have made that trade years ago. We wouldn't be here today. Let me be clear. This is not a plea for my life or for my death. This is a plea for justice for Deputy Moyers and his family. Make no mistake, I am sorry and I hate myself for what I did, but that's simply not enough to outweigh the aggravators by any imaginable standard. The Moyers family deserves justice. I can't take away the pain I've caused, but I can pay for it, so make me pay for it.
I believe that he suffers from what is like survivor's guilt. I think he feels a tremendous sense of remorse.
We all come together because we share a common purpose, and that is to stand between good and evil. A hero remembered never really dies, and we will always remember.
You, Patrick McDowell, shall be confined on death row until a date certain selected by the governor of the state of Florida, and on that date you shall be executed.
There are no winners here in this case. Lives were destroyed either way. There are no winners.